Richard Cockerill.
Yeah.
What does he mean to you?
He's the first coach that gave me an opportunity. Actually believed in me, I would say, because I remember when they found out about my hip. As I said, normally that'd be you done. Pack your bags and go back. And I remember them because we didn't do my surgery immediately as well. They made me go through a pre-season because I've had this hip for a year, so I feel like that pre-season I knew that was basically my test. Do you know what I mean? Because I knew they were like, look, he's been running around with this hip. Like, let him run around with this thing for another 6 weeks. We'll see where he's at, if he's the player for us or not. So I knew that was a massive test for me. So got through the 6 weeks of pre-season, and then afterwards I got my surgery on my hip, and I was out for about 4 or 5 months. I made actually a quick return to play. I was meant to be out for 6 months, but I came back within like 4 or 5 months, and I made my debut, I would say, in South Africa. Yeah, because we had a 2-week tour in South Africa, and made my debut then. And then I was actually fortunate enough to start every single game till the end of the season. So I think it was like 15 on the bounce I started, but it was all, I would say, a learning curve as well, because obviously Cockers believed in me, but he always said to me, you've got a few things you have to work on. Obviously, your pace is really good, and you're a powerful man, but there's more things you have to work on your defense, your high balls. Learn how to read the game, how to run off 9, be an option of 10. So I actually had to learn a lot, and fair play to our attack coach at the time, Duncan Hodge. We did a lot of extras, passing, catching after training, and I just felt like that gave me a lot of confidence.
Because I feel like in school, or even late school, if you are a really big guy that can run really fast, you're going to get picked for the team.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah, you're going to be sound.
Yeah.
But as soon as it gets to that more advanced level, whether that's Edinburgh Club Rugby or the Scotland team, you need to have every single area covered. Yeah. What do you think was your strongest areas versus your weakest at that point?
At that point, I was obviously, I've always been quite quick. My mom forced me to do athletics in school, and I absolutely hated it, but I actually thank her for that now.
Yeah. You're the fastest guy on the team, right?
Yeah, top speed, I would say. Yeah.
Blair's got some long legs.
Well, Blair's up there and Dash is up there. It's pretty hard to say. It'll be interesting to see if we do a 100-meter race, who would actually win. So I think I had the speed, I had the power. I was pretty big. I think I weighed, when I initially came over, obviously being in France for a year, I think I weighed 111 kgs.
Holy
at
shit.
the age of 22, so I was pretty big.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, because I didn't play much. So I couldn't really move that well, to be honest. I'd have one sprint in me and then I'd absolutely knackered afterwards. So I had to obviously lose a bit of weight. Yeah. But then, there was a lot of other things I had to work on, which was my catching, my passing, my defense, my high ball catching, because of the way we played was a lot different to what I grew up in South Africa. It's obviously warmer weather, so you throw the ball a bit more, and you don't kick as much. Whereas it was a bit different. When you get to November, December, it's pissing it down and it's cold. Then you convert to just kicking the ball a bit more. So that's where I felt like I had to get better.
That's an interesting divide. So in Scotland, there's a lot more of a kicking game than South Africa based on the heat.
Yeah, because it's easier when it's warmer, to chuck the ball around.
Yeah.
And, whereas obviously because it's raining and stuff, your ball handling is really tough. You can't just chuck it around, because if you knock it on, then you basically give possession away. So the easiest thing was just to kick it down there, or kick a contested ball, compete for it, make it a 50-50, and then if you win the battle in the air, you get the ball back.
And how is the transition between the warm to the shit?
Oh, right. It was pretty tough. I didn't really know what I got myself into. I remember landing in Edinburgh I think it was the 17th of June, 2017, and I remember someone saying to me it's summer, but I was like, how is this summer? It's 17, like it's 17 degrees. And I looked at the weather for the next week and I didn't get above 20. And I was like, wait a minute, is this actually summer? So I mean, that was pretty tough.
Yeah.
My first winter was brutal because we had the beast from the east as well. My first year. Yeah,
pure snow.
Which I actually didn't mind. I was like, obviously the first time I was like, this is absolutely brilliant. But when it kept on going on, I was like sitting in my flat, miserable,
it's dark.
Oh, it's dark, man. So I think that was the most challenging thing, the first year when I moved over. It's just how constantly like dark it is, mate. Like, it starts in November, whatever, and sometimes you get to March and you think, okay, the worst is done, but then you get the beast from the east and like it's still cold. Like especially this season, it's not been great. Like we're in May and
shorts and t-shirt for us.
Oh well, for you guys maybe, but yeah, it's not been great. So hopefully they'll turn around pretty quickly and we'll get some sun.
Yeah. And how mental is it? Or it's quite incredible that someone like Richard Cockerill giving you that opportunity, that changed your life in every kind of way, right?
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for him...
Well, that was the thing, because I remember speaking to my agent at the time and I was like saying to him, I remember we were sitting down having lunch, waiting to hear back from Edinburgh. And I was just thinking at the time, like, if this doesn't go through, if I get told, they terminate my contract, firstly is where am I going to get a club, right? Because my hip needs surgery. Secondly, who's going to pay for that? So I knew, like, if this doesn't go ahead, then that'll probably be me done, because I don't felt like I haven't achieved enough for, I would say, any club to just take me in and, do surgery on me and give me a shot, because, I was just a young lad at the age of 22. I've not achieved much in my career. So, I'm so grateful for Edinburgh and Cockers, for giving me that opportunity and actually believing in me.
It means a lot to you.
Yeah, and it means a hell of a lot to me. That's why I always feel like I always want to give back to Edinburgh. And, I'm certainly at that age where I always try and help the youngsters out a bit, which I feel is really important. And, that's a way of like giving back. And I guess the other way is like by my performances. I always feel like, because the fans have backed me from day one. So it's always when I get on that pitch is, giving it my all for the fans. And I guess another good example is when Worcester went bust and Edinburgh said they were interested in bringing me back. I didn't even think twice. I think I was back within, Worcester went into administration, and I think I signed at Edinburgh the same day. So I was back within a couple of days. So and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah. So there's like loyalty there, I think, and that's built over a amazing career so far.
Yeah.